Welcome to part 2 of the Chalice of Blood, a Warhammer 40,000 narrative campaign brought to you by the Legion Wargaming. If you haven't yet watched part 1, we would recommend you do so. But just to briefly recap, we find ourselves on the planet of Calicum Tertius, the third planet in the Calicum system, where the Raven Guard chapter of Adeptus Astartes are preparing to make planetfall. They think that they are going to destroy a small band of traitor space marines from the World Eaters Legion, but in reality they have been lured here by false astropathic messages, and it is the World Eaters who intend to destroy them. The World Eaters are hoping that if they butcher the Ravens on this planet, which is known to the Dark Gods as the Chalice, then the Dark Gods will reward them by summoning their sire Angron once more to carve a bloody path across the galaxy. This remote area, known as the Farlight Uplands, is where the Ravens will make planetfall. Let's take a look at the forces involved and some of the special rules we will be using in this scenario. This 2,000 point World Eaters Legion list is the force that has been dispatched by the World Eaters commanders Nearchus and Arian to destroy the Raven Guard as they make planetfall, and is led by a Legion Centurion. He has Artificer Armour, a Power Fist and a Combi Melter, and he has brought a lot of World Eaters with him. We have 3 tactical squads, each of 10 Space Marines. They all have bolt pistols and chain axes, and their sergeants all have Artificer Armour and Power Fists. And there are also 2 more troops. A Legion Tactical Support Squad. They have 4 melter guns and they are in a Rhino, and a Legion Veteran Tactical Squad. Their sergeant has Artificer Armour and a Power Fist. They have the Snipers Veteran Tactic, and they also have a Rhino. There are more elite troops in this warband, including 5 destroyers with their rad grenades. They have chain axes, bolt pistols. Their sergeant has Artificer Armour, a Power Fist and 2 Phosphex bombs. They are using forbidden weaponry to try and take out the Loyalists. And there is also a Cataphracti Terminator squad. They have a Reaper autocannon. 2 of them have lightning claws, and we have 1 with a chain fist and 1 with a power fist. The Cataphracti Terminator armour makes them slow and purposeful, but gives them a 4+ invulnerable save. And to help them slaughter the Ravens as they land, the World Eaters have brought along some of the big guns. A Devastator squad with 5 autocannon and 2 Predators. 1 with las cannon sponsons and a Predator cannon on its turret, and the other with heavy bolter sponsons and a plasma executioner cannon on its turret. These are the forces that are laying in wait for the Ravens. Let's see what forces the Ravens will be dropping onto this planet. This 2,000 point Raven Guard army is a little bit different, as this is planetfall, and the scenario special rules dictate that everything in the Raven Guard army must be able to deploy by deep strike. But they have still managed to make their army battle forged. We have 3 formations, starting with Captain Kyoni himself. He is a Space Marine captain with a Relic Blade and Artificer Armour, and he is leading a Shadow Force, which consists of 10 Vanguard veterans with twin lightning claws and jump packs, a squad of Stern Guard. They have 3 combi melters, and they, along with the captain, will come down in a drop pod. And the Shadow Force also contains a single land speeder with a multi-melter and a heavy flamer. The main bulk of the 3rd company will be deploying as an orbital strike force, a formation like the Shadow Force from the Carrion supplement, consisting of 3 tactical squads. They're full strength. First one has a melter gun, and the sergeant has a combi melter in a drop pod. The second one has another melter gun, and they are also in a drop pod, and a third one with a plasma gun. The Sergeant has a combi plasma, and they are also in a drop pod, and this formation contains 2 independent land speeders, both with heavy flamers and multi-melters. And the third and final formation in this planetary assault force is another Raven Guard formation, the Blade Wing Assault Brotherhood, led by the 3rd Company Chaplain. He has a jump pack, and he has brought with him 10 Vanguard veterans. They just have bolt pistols and chain swords. They also have jump packs, and 3 assault squads, each of 5 Marines, 1 with just bolt pistols and chain swords, 1 with 2 flamers, and another with 2 flamers. This whole army will be deploying by Deep Strike. Let's take a look at how we are going to handle deployment for this scenario. And the armies have deployed, or rather they haven't. Half of the World Eaters have deployed, and they can deploy anywhere on the table. They have chosen to deploy their Predator with the Executioner Plasma Cannon on this rocky rise, their Terminators moving through these barricades, and 1 of their tactical squads with chain axes and bolt pistols on the roof of this bunker and behind it in the gully. They have also deployed their heavy weapons Marines with their autocannons on top of this landing pad, and their other Predator with its las cannon sponsons on this rocky outcrop. This is half of the World Eaters army, and now we move on to stage 2 of deployment, whereby we deploy the entire Raven Guard army by Deep Strike. And the Raven Guard have made planetfall. Their entire army has deep struck. They had to deep strike further than 12 inches from any table edge, although some of them have scattered, gone a bit closer to that, but it has been mishap free. So 2 land speeders have arrived over this side of the field, and 1 of the tactical squads from the orbital strike force have come down in their drop pod next to them, and the chaplain has led his Vanguard veterans from the Blade Wing Assault Brotherhood down in the cover of this landing pad. Another squad from the Blade Wing, one of the assault squads this time, has come down in this gully next to the World Eaters Predator, and another tactical squad has appeared, putting a lot of pressure onto the World Eaters heavy weapons Marines. The Vanguard with Lightning Claws have deep struck into the open. They cannot wait to get to grips with the traitors, and they are supported by another tactical squad from the Orbital Strike Force, who have come down in their drop pod and immediately sought cover in this rocky outcropping. The last land speeder has come down quite a long way away from the action, along with another assault squad from the Blade Wing, and Captain Kyoni has led his stern guard right down into the heart of these rocks, trying to get at this World Eaters Predator, and he is supported by the final squad from the Blade Wing, another assault squad. So it looks like the Ravens have the World Eaters surrounded. Will they be able to wipe them out? Well, the problem with that is this is a trap, and the Ravens will not be getting the first turn. The World Eaters automatically receive the first turn, and the other half of their army will automatically be coming onto the table from reserve, and from whichever table edge they please. Can the Ravens survive what has turned out to be a world of pain for them? Let's see, going into World Eaters turn 1. End of World Eaters movement phase turn 1, and the jaws of the trap have slammed shut around the Raven Guard. It's worth noting that normal assaulting from reserve rules do apply in this scenario, so none of the World Eaters units that have moved on from reserve will be allowed to assault this turn, although the World Eaters units that began deployed on the table will be able to. That's worse news for the Ravens, because even though they did not receive the first turn, they have deployed by deep strike, so they will not be able to assault in their first turn either, which in this case represents the shock and confusion of the World Eater's sudden ambush. The objective of this scenario is simple: annihilation of the enemy. These two legions absolutely despise each other. The World Eaters have begun. Aggressively, we have one tactical squad moving towards Captain Kyoni and his stern guard. Meanwhile, the Predator that began on this rocky outcrop has backed off a little to bring its deadly plasma weaponry to bear. The Terminators have stomped forward very slowly over these rocks past the barricades. They have got their eyes set on the newly arrived Raven Guard assault squad, and a lot of World Eaters have turned up. Over here, the Centurion is leading the tactical support squad. They have come on in their Rhino. They have deployed into the cover of these barricades. They are preparing to use their melter guns on the Raven Guard tactical squad, and they are supported by a World Eaters tactical squad that have moved on. They are looking to get to grips with this large mass of loyalists as quickly as possible. The tactical squad that began deployed in the centre of the table. They are moving across the landing pad as quickly as they can. They think they can take on the Chaplain and his vanguard, and we will see. This Predator has spun around. He is looking to knock some of the Raven Guard land speeders out of the air. The Marines with autocannons have held position. They have plenty of targets, and the Vanguard veterans find themselves in a very difficult position. The destroyers have leapt on. The Sergeant is already priming a Phosphex bomb to deal with them, and the veteran tactical squad have arrived in their Rhino. They have the sniper special rule. It looks like the World Eaters are going to try and take out the deadly Ravens with lightning claws. So this could be a very, very difficult turn for the Raven Guard. Let's see, going into World Eaters shooting phase, turn 1. End of World Eaters shooting phase, turn 1, and the Ravens are still standing defiantly, although the Vanguard took an absolute barrage of fire from the destroyers and the veteran tactical Marines of the World Eaters Legion. The destroyer sergeant took out 3 with a Phosphex bomb, and his destroyers took out 2 more with their bolt pistols. Fortunately for the remaining veterans, this tactical squad only took down another 2 with their bolters. The 3 remaining Vanguard, they're still there. They have passed morale. The World Eaters with autocannons combine their fire with the tactical squad moving over this landing pad. They each managed to shoot down 1 Vanguard veteran from the squad with the Chaplain. The Predator, he managed to get 2 penetrating hits on this land speeder with his autocannon, but the Raven Guard skimmer jinked them both, and he missed with his las cannons. So not too bad so far from the Ravens. This land speeder was rewarded for his bravery in not jinking. He only took a single glancing hit from the World Eaters bolt pistols. And the Centurion, his World Eaters with melter guns, they managed to melt 2 of this tactical squad. The Terminators opened up with everything they had on the small Raven Guard assault squad, but did no damage at all. But over this side, it went much better for the World Eaters. The Plasma Executioner from this Predator managed to melt 1 stern guard and wound Captain Kyoni, and he was wounded again despite his artificer armour by a volley of bolt pistol fire from this World Eater squad newly arrived. But could have been much, much worse for the Raven Guard. Let's see if any of the original World Eaters deployed on the table can make a charge in World Eaters assault phase, turn 1. End of World Eaters assault phase, turn 1, and the Terminators failed to cover the distance in their attempt to charge this Raven Guard assault squad, and The squad in the centre, with their chain axes whirring, also failed to negotiate their way down the landing pad to charge the chaplain and his vanguard veterans. So, a brief respite for the Raven Guard. Let's see if they can strike back in their first turn. End of Raven Guard movement phase turn 1, and of course, as per the deep strike rules, none of the Ravens have moved, as their arrival by deep strike was in fact their movement. But there are a couple of things worth mentioning. The tactical squads from the orbital strike force can run and shoot on the turn that they arrive, which effectively in this scenario is this turn, and also they have declared that the centre of this bunker is the centre of their drop site. They re-roll to hit and to wound rolls of 1 against any enemy units within 12 inches of that point. Let's see if the Ravens can fight their way clear of these traitors in a storm of fire. Raven Guard shooting phase, turn 1. End of Raven Guard shooting phase, turn 1, and the Ravens are fighting back as best they can. They are doing a very effective job. Over on this side of the battlefield, this tactical squad ran and then gunned down 4 of the rapidly approaching World Eaters. Another was taken out by the heavy flamer on the land speeder, and another was taken out by the drop pod. So 6 World Eaters down over this side. The chaplain commanded his vanguard to open fire on these World Eaters with their bolt pistols. They managed to shoot one down, while their comrades from the assault squad start running through the gully. A good result from this land speeder. Even though it needed 6 to hit with its snapshot as it jinked, it managed to penetrate and shake the World Eater's predator on this rocky rise. This tactical squad gunned down 2 of the World Eater's veterans and then ran up the landing pad. They have their eyes set on the World Eater's support marines, and 2 of the destroyers were shot down by this tactical squad after they ran up to occupy this rocky rise. These assault marines are running to try and support their captain, who finds himself greatly outnumbered, although his Stern Guard veterans did manage to shoot down 2 of these World Eaters coming at them, and this assault squad only managed to run 1 inch, so they are still very vulnerable to the Terminators. But the Raven Guard have certainly held their own. Only problem is they now have to face another World Eater's turn, going into World Eater's turn 2. End of World Eater's movement phase, turn 2, and as the nails start to tick in their skulls, they are hurling themselves at their pale cousins. This tactical squad, they are looking to tear Captain Kyoni and his Stern Guard bodyguard apart with their chain axes. The Predators held position, and the Terminators are stomping towards this assault squad. Meanwhile, the Destroyers, they are determined to finish off the Vanguard veterans with lightning claws. Their sergeant has another Phosphex bomb, and if necessary they will wade in with their chain axes as well. And the veteran tactical squad, they are looking to cut a bloody swathe through this Raven Guard tactical squad. They may rapid fire, or they may charge in. Haven't decided yet. These World Eaters with autocannon, they are still in a great position as long as their brothers can clear out these Raven Guard that are closing in. And the tactical squad that began in the centre, they are making excellent progress over this broken terrain now, and they are looking to charge the vanguard. This Predator is shaken, but he is still going to try and take out some land speeders, and the Centurion, he is going to command his support squad to melt as many Marines as possible, and then he is looking forward to charging in with his power fist. And the 4 Marines left in this World Eaters tactical squad are looking to tear this land speeder out of the air. So we should have a lot of assaults this turn, but first we have World Eaters shooting phase, turn 2. End of World Eaters shooting phase turn 2, and as the rage takes over, it seems that the World Eaters have abandoned all of their fire discipline. Over on this side, despite plenty of wounds coming from the plasma execution on the Predator, and a few more wounds being caused by this squad's bolt pistols, the Stern Guard and Captain Kyoni made all of their armour and cover saves. They did not take a single wound. Neither did this assault squad as they came under fire from the advancing Terminators. The Destroyer Sergeant managed to take out another 2 Vanguard with a Phosphex bomb. Surely he and his 2 remaining destroyers can take out the last Raven Guard veteran. The World Eaters Veteran Tactical Squad decided to rapid fire, but their discipline was terrible. They only shot down 1 Raven Guard Tactical Marine. And although these World Eaters with autocannons managed to pepper this land speeder with 4 penetrating hits, he jinked all of them, and he also jinked the 1 las cannon hit that was fired by the snap shooting Predator. This pilot is a prodigy. Meanwhile, the squad advancing over the landing pad managed to shoot down another 2 of the Chaplain's Vanguard, now preparing to charge, and 3 more Marines from this Raven Guard squad have gone down to the melter fire of the Centurion and his support squad. This land speeder also jinked. He managed to jink a crack grenade and a bolt pistol glancing hit, but it looks like the World Eaters are going to tear him out of the air in the assault phase. This has been a very disappointing shooting phase from the traitor Space Marines, but they are very much looking forward to the next phase. World Eaters assault phase turn 2. End of World Eaters assault phase turn 2, and it has been eventful. As the destroyers leapt at the single remaining Vanguard veteran, he managed to slice 2 of them to shreds with his claws, but the Sergeant then easily took him out with his power fist. Unfortunately for the Destroyer Sergeant, he is a World Eater, and he has to move towards the nearest enemy unit with his consolidation. Perhaps his deranged mind thinks that he can take on 10 Ravens on his own. We will see. This squad of World Eaters leapt from the landing pad into the Chaplain and his Vanguard. The Chaplain bellowed a challenge but could not penetrate the Sergeant's Artificer armour with his Crozius Arcanum. In return, the Sergeant landed 2 blows on the Chaplain with his power fist, but looked on in horror as both blows rebounded from the power field generated by the Chaplain's Rosarius. Meanwhile, his veterans managed to hack down 4 World Eaters, and in return the World Eaters cut down 2 Ravens. They are fearless. They remain locked in combat. Meanwhile, the World Eaters are dominating on this side of the field. The 4 remaining Tactical Squad members tore the land speeder from the air, and the Centurion with his Tactical Support Squad took no damage from Overwatch or in the assault, and the Centurion's power fist made short work of the remaining Raven Guard, massacring them in the shadow of their drop pod. But much better news for the Ravens here. As the Cataphracti Terminators came stomping in, the nimble Ravens managed to hack down 2 of them with their chainswords. And obviously the Terminators were surprised by this. They only managed to kill 2 Raven Guard Assault Marines in return, so they remain locked in combat. And as these World Eaters came charging into the Captain, the Raven Guard bellowed a challenge. He managed to take out the World Eater Sergeant with his Relic Blade, saving himself and his squad from the World Eater's power fist attacks, but he lost 3 Stern Guard to the chain axes of the remaining World Eaters, and the Stern Guard only managed to pull down 1 traitor Space Marine in return, but with the Captain there, they also remain locked. So the casualties have been horrendous for both sides in this assault phase. But have the Ravens done enough? Have they resisted the unstoppable charge of the World Eaters? Let's see, going into Raven Guard turn 2. End of Raven Guard movement phase, turn 2, and the Ravens are now on the move. This assault squad is moving through these rocks on foot. They are looking to leap to the aid of their captain, who finds himself in a very unenviable position. These assault marines remain locked with the Terminators. It's hard to see them managing to pull off what they managed to do in the last assault phase, but we will see. Meanwhile, the land speeder has come zipping over this rocky rise, and this tactical squad is moving out to take on the World Eaters veteran tactical squad. The Ravens are hoping that the fire of the 2 drop pods on this side of the field can take out the deranged destroyer Sergeant. This tactical squad, they have all moved up onto the landing pad now, and they are looking to gun down the World Eaters' heavy support, or they might use their bolt pistols and then follow it up with an assault. The jinking land speeder, he's going to continue to try to take out this World Eaters predator. Needs 6s to hit, but he managed it in the previous turn. And this assault squad from the Blade Wing is moving to the aid of the chaplain commanding their formation. They have moved on foot as well. They are looking to leap in to these World Eaters. Meanwhile, the Ravens don't really have a lot that can deal with the World Eaters down this corner of the battlefield, but maybe they can do enough this turn. Let's see, going into Raven Guard shooting phase. Turn 2. End of Raven Guard shooting phase, turn 2, and like the World Eaters in their previous shooting phase, the Ravens' blood must be up, for their accuracy has been abysmal. These 2 drop pods failed to take out the Destroyer Sergeant, and the combined fire of the Land Speeder and this full strength Raven Guard tactical squad only managed to take out 1 veteran World Eater tactical marine each. The tactical squad moving up open fire with their bolt pistols on the autocannon wielding World Eaters, and they manage to shoot down 1 as they prepare for an assault, and the snap shooting land speeder missed with its multi-melter this turn. So at the end of this phase, only 3 World Eater Marines were shot down. Very disappointing from the Ravens, but maybe they can swing things back in their second assault phase. Let's see. End of Raven Guard assault phase, turn 2, and the tactical squad made it into the World Eaters support Marines. They took no damage from Overwatch or in the assault, but they only managed to take down 1 World Eater. The 3 remaining Marines with autocannons have passed morale. They remain locked in combat. The assault squad from the Blade Wing Brotherhood ploughed into the aid of their chaplain, using their Hammer of Wrath very effectively to take out 2 World Eaters before they got to strike. And another World Eater was hacked down by the Vanguard veterans' chainswords. In return, the World Eaters managed to take out 1 more Vanguard veteran, and in the challenge the chaplain once again failed to penetrate the Sergeant's artificer armour, and the Sergeant missed with his attacks with his power fist this turn, so those 2 remain unable to hurt each other. The World Eaters have passed morale again. They remain locked, but it's looking grim for these 2. Meanwhile, when the Assault Marines managed to hack down another Terminator, we thought maybe they could achieve victory, especially when the Sergeant missed with his lightning claws, but the Cataphracti Terminator with the Reaper then managed to land 2 blows with his power fist, taking out 2 more Marines. But the last Assault Marine in this squad refuses to fall back, and like the chaplain on the far side of the drop zone, Captain Kyoni has been saved by the intervention of an assault squad. Like their brothers from the Blade Wing helping the chaplain, they use their Hammer of Wrath very effectively using their chapter tactics, and they have taken down more of the World Eaters. The World Eaters in return managed to hack down the last Stern Guard veteran and 1 of the Assault Marines, but the difference was Captain Kyoni himself, who managed to take out 2 World Eaters with his relic blade, but they remain locked as well. The Ravens are buoyed up by hatred of the traitors, and they are refusing to give any ground. And as for the World Eaters, well, they never even think about running from a fight. Let's see how they respond going into World Eaters turn 3. End of World Eaters movement phase, turn 3, and as this Predator desperately waits for the Terminators to kill the last Assault Marine to come and protect it, it has spied the tactical squad in the distance. It's going to open fire with its plasma cannon against them, and the Destroyer Sergeant has regained some of his senses, and he sees a land speeder that he thinks he can take out with his power fist. Meanwhile, the veteran tactical squad are getting sick of the lack of effect that their bolters are having, so they are reverting to true World Eaters combat tactics. They are moving up to take on this tactical squad in close assault. This Predator, no longer shaken, he is determined to take out this land speeder that has eluded him so far, and as the Chaplain and his Blade Wing Assault Brotherhood fight off one squad of World Eaters, the World Eater Centurion is leading 2 more squads to take them on and butcher them. Let's see how they get on. Going into World Eaters shooting phase turn 3. End of World Eaters shooting phase turn 3, and there was not much firing, but what there was very, very effective. Tremendous accuracy from this Predator with its plasma executioner managed to take down 6 tactical marines that were scrambling over this rocky rise, and another punishing volley of fire came from the Predator cannon on this tank, finally shooting down this Raven Guard land speeder. The only other firing was the Destroyer Sergeant, who missed the land speeder with a crack grenade as he prepares to charge. A very, very short phase. Let's see if the next phase is crucial. World Eaters assault phase turn 3. End of World Eaters assault phase turn 3, and it is looking decisive. The Destroyer Sergeant easily managed to smash the land speeder with his power fist, and up on the landing pad the intervention of the World Eaters veterans, along with some extremely good dice rolling from the traitors, meant all 9 of the Raven Guard tactical marines were killed, but they managed to pull down 1 more World Eaters support marine before they died. That really was carnage on the landing pad. Meanwhile, the Centurion has led the tactical support squad in, and that has also proved decisive. Once again, the Sergeant with the power fist and the Chaplain have failed to do any damage to each other. The Vanguard managed to hack down 1 support marine with a melter gun. The Assault Marines managed to take out the last tactical marine from the World Eaters squad, but the Centurion smashed all of the remaining Vanguard veterans with his power fist. So it looks like the tide is turning against the Ravens here with the intervention of the Centurion. Meanwhile, the Terminators finally resisted the attacks of the last Assault Marine and killed him easily. But they have Ravens advancing upon them. Captain Kyoni cut down 2 more World Eaters with his relic blade. The last one failed to do any damage to him and was finished off by the 4 Raven Guard Assault Marines. They have consolidated. They are looking to take out the Predator and the Terminators. But other than this side of the field, it is looking like the Ravens are losing this battle at the drop zone. Let's see what they can do in their 3rd turn. End of Raven Guard movement phase turn 3, and the Ravens do not have a lot of units left that are free to move the Chaplain, and these Assault Marines remain locked in combat. They are alone except for a couple of drop pods over this side of the drop zone. Meanwhile, the 4 tactical marines remaining in this squad, they have pulled back to the top of this outcrop. They are looking to gun down the Destroyer Sergeant at last. And meanwhile, Captain Kyoni has ordered these 4 assault marines to deal with the Terminators while he takes out this Predator with his relic blade. But there are precious few Ravens left now. Let's see what they can do in their third shooting phase. End of Raven Guard shooting phase turn 3, and it was very brief like the World Eater's shooting phase before it. These 4 tactical marines managed to do 5 wounds to the destroyer sergeant, and 1 managed to get through his artificer armour, so he has gone down. All of the drop pods on the table fired their storm bolters with no effect, but these 4 assault marines with 2 blasts of flame and a crack grenade managed to take out both of the cataphracti terminators, so they don't need to charge. Very effective shooting from the Ravens there. We have an ongoing assault, and we also have the captain trying to take out this predator, going into Raven Guard assault phase turn 3. End of Raven Guard assault phase turn 3, and whoever made this chaplain's Rosarius did an extremely good job. Declaring a glorious intervention, the Centurion threw himself at the chaplain, did 2 wounds with the power fist, but once again they both bounced off of the power field. The chaplain could not do any damage. Back to the Centurion though. This artificer armour that the World Eaters are wearing is proving too much for his Crozius. Meanwhile, the assault marines and the other World Eaters, they kept hacking at each other. 1 more tactical support marine went down, but 3 Raven Guard assault marines also fell. So the chaplain and 2 assault marines are left, and it is looking very grim for them. Over on the other side of the drop zone, Kyoni waded in to this predator. He managed 2 penetrating hits with his relic blade. It is shaken and it is stunned. So it does not look like it is going to survive much longer, but it doesn't look like the Ravens will survive much longer unless they extract themselves from this situation. Going into World Eaters turn 4. End of World Eaters movement phase turn 4, and content that their Centurion can now handle the chaplain and the remaining members of the Raven Guard Blade Wing, this squad has begun to move towards the other side of the drop zone. They're still a long way away, but the Ravens can see them coming. The Predator here really is a sitting duck. He cannot move, he can only fire snapshots, so looks like the Raven Guard captain will finish him off. The World Eaters veteran tactical squad are moving down to take out the remnants of this Raven Guard tactical squad. There's a Rhino also moving up in support. And freed from the attacks of the Ravens, the 2 remaining Marines with autocannon are searching for targets again, as is the last World Eater's Predator, which has pivoted and is looking to give some long range fire over towards the Raven Guard captain. Let's see if any Ravens can survive going into World Eaters shooting phase turn 4. End of World Eaters shooting phase turn 4, and they have achieved precisely nothing. The veteran tactical squad opened up on this Raven Guard squad on the rocky outcrop, but not a single Raven Guard Marine fell. Meanwhile, the 2 Marines with autocannons joined their fire with the Predator, and they decided to target the Raven Guard captain. Unfortunately, their autocannon shells could not penetrate his artificer armour, and the 1 las cannon shot that hit rebounded from the power field generated by his iron halo. So the World Eaters unleashed quite a few shots there, but had no effect whatsoever, and this squad of World Eaters ran up a couple of inches. Let's see if the Traitor Space Marines can do some more damage in their assault phase. End of World Eaters assault phase turn 4, and this chaplain is indestructible. The Centurion only managed to get 1 hit with his power fist and rolled a 1 to wound, but of course, true to form, the chaplain did no damage in return. But he's on his own now as the rest of the World Eaters hack down the last 2 Raven Guard assault marines. It is looking pretty bleak to be the 3rd company chaplain for the Raven Guard at the moment. But good news, as the Predator couldn't move away, Kyoni easily finished it off with his relic blade. So we have some drop pods, a badly wounded captain, 4 assault marines, 4 tactical marines. Can the Ravens pull something out of the bag? It's looking doubtful, but we'll see. Raven Guard turn 4. End of Raven Guard movement phase, turn 4, and the Tactical Marines, they are standing firm. They are going to try and gun down the traitors as they advance upon them. The Chaplain, he is still fighting desperately, trying to kill all of the heretics surrounding him. Meanwhile, Captain Kyoni is remembering Raven Guard combat doctrine. Both he and the Assault Marines have pulled back behind the cover of this rocky outcrop. They are looking to extract themselves from this drop zone. Let's see what damage the Ravens can do in their 4th shooting phase. End of Raven Guard shooting phase, turn 4, and no damage was done. A storm of bolt fire erupted from the drop pods and the tactical squad against the World Eaters veterans, but not a single traitor fell. And the drop pods on this side targeted the support squad with autocannons, but they were similarly ineffective. So the only thing we have left this turn is an assault phase. Is this the end of the Raven Guard, Chaplain? Let's see. Raven Guard assault phase, turn 4. End of Raven Guard assault phase, turn 4, and the Chaplain finally managed to do a wound to the Centurion with his Crozius, but that only enraged the World Eater, and he finally thrust his power fist through the force field and crushed the life from the Raven Guard. Space Marine, he has fallen. It is a sad day. And that leaves the World Eaters well and truly in control of the drop zone. We are going to call the game here, as there's only 4 Tactical Marines and 4 Assault Marines, along with the badly wounded Captain Kyoni. He is ordering the Raven Guard to withdraw. That's what the Ravens are good at: withdraw and strike again. See how they are going to achieve that. The World Eaters have inflicted a crushing victory, but it's hard to keep a Space Marine down. It looked during the first couple of turns of the game that the Ravens may have been able to fight their way to victory, but the dice really turned against them during turn 3 and 4, and the World Eaters have emerged victorious. Thanks very much for watching. We hope you're enjoying the Chalice of Blood narrative campaign. Please subscribe to our channel, and we will keep producing as many Warhammer 40,000 battle reports as we can. See ya.